What we wanted to do is dedicate more time today to kind of show you some of the AI builder tools that are now built into the platform and available for everyone. So, David, I'll pass things over to you. And then towards the end of this segment, the tip of the week, we'll actually do a live demo on how to set all this good stuff up.
Yeah, that's right. So we've announced a handful of new AI features recently. The two biggest, newest ones would be the AI newsletter creator wizard, as well as the AI web page builder. So on their own, they're independently powerful features available by default in the BD platform. So you don't need an add-on or anything to access them. They're all accessible in your admin area. But we wanted to show how they can actually work together to help bring your website more leads, more visitors, really just make your website overall more productive and help you reach whatever goals you happen to have with your website, hopefully a little bit faster. So we'll be showing one specific example in this demo here, but what we do show, you should easily be able to kind of extrapolate for out to any kind of use case you might have. So we're kind of talking about the AI power combo here with the, like I mentioned, the AI page builder as well as the AI newsletter creator. So in this case, we're going to be using the AI page builder to create a landing page, which has an offer. It will have an email submission form on it as well. So we can capture visitors' emails, follow up with them, market to them at a later date, as well as deliver the deliverable of the offer it is that the landing page is promoting. And we'll create that deliverable, that follow-up email automatically, pretty instantaneously using the AI newsletter creator. So we're going to be using both of those tools together in this demo. So using both of them, again, you can use this for really a variety of use cases, but probably the most common ones would be some sort of lead magnet, which again, we'll demonstrate in a practical application here in just a moment. So any sort of free resources or better optimizing your member sign-up process, your pricing or your join page, the benefits that are communicated on those, as well as any follow-up or welcome emails you might be sending to new members, as well as any special offers, additional member onboarding. The list really goes on. You can utilize these again independently or together, like we'll be showing here.
Definitely. And basically, what this all comes down to is helping you collect and capture more email addresses from visitors who are on your site, prospective members who are on your site. So you can capture those email addresses, send them some goodies, and then hopefully you can continue marketing to them and converting them in some other way or fashion.
So just briefly going over the two tools in case you're unfamiliar with them. They are both relatively new. We've done some videos about them on their own, but the AI page builder, that will allow you to instantly create SEO optimized pages from just a single prompt. And there's a couple other options within the AI page builder wizard that you can sort of fine tune, but it basically allows you to generate any sort of web page, well-designed landing pages that include images, sales pages, resource pages. It'll automatically include CTAs, again, images. The layouts, the colors used should coincide with the rest of your website pretty well. And then you can always manually tweak the page thereafter if anything needs to be tweaked. In addition to using the AI page builder to generate brand new web pages, you can also use it to, which we won't be showing in this demo, but you can also use it to optimize your member search result pages as well as your post search result pages. So maybe you have a member category for attorneys on your website. If you want to add a little bit of SEO juice to that search results page where it lists all of the attorneys on your site, you can use the AI page builder tool to add some SEO content directly onto that page and hopefully get it ranking a little bit better.
I was just going to say, I think we will have time to actually show one or two examples of adding and bolstering the SEO of an existing search results page that you have. So you can do exactly that. If you're trying to rank for attorneys in Los Angeles, you can add some good SEO content to those pages with just a few clicks, and that will definitely help with your rankings for that page.
Yeah, that would be great to see that in action. And it's super quick to do. You can really rattle through a dozen or more pages pretty quickly doing that. Secondly, the AI newsletter creator, that similarly to the AI page builder, it allows you to use a prompt along with a couple other options if you want to fine tune anything to instantly generate a ready to send email. It could be a visual email, so one that's designed nicely. Again, it can include images, CTAs, links, all automatically with the AI. You could also use it to generate just a plain text email if it's going to be, some sort of confirmation email or something really simple, really generic. You don't really want to go all out on it. You could also use it just to generate plain text emails. In this case, we'll be using it to generate a really nicely designed deliverable. So in this example, we're going to pretend that we have an interior designer directory. And the goal of this lead funnel that we're going to develop is to help homeowners find trusted interior designers for their next project. So the goal is to use these two AI tools, again, built into BD by default, to instantly create a value-based funnel that has three goals ultimately. Engages visitors with some sort of helpful content. The landing page is going to explain the benefits and hopefully entice the visitor to submit their email to get that deliverable, and then delivers that real value directly to their email. And then within that email, include a CTA to ultimately bring those readers back to our website so that they can actually use the information that we've provided them to help them better hire an interior designer that's listed on our website. So with this funnel, we're kind of hitting both demographics of our website, the customer side, which is in this case the homeowner, as well as the member, who in this case would be the professional interior designer. So we're attracting visitors with this landing page. We're getting their email address to send them the deliverable, the email, and then also in the future we can market to them. And then in that email, we're going to bring them back to our website to hopefully generate some leads for our interior designer members. And it really just takes a few steps. So the workflow here is really just to choose a compelling topic, create the email with the AI newsletter creator, create the basic email submission form, and then use the AI web page builder to build out the landing page. And then that's really it. You could take a few more steps, use the BD help bot to help you generate a post that you can share on Facebook, and then you can boost that post to hopefully get it in front of more people. So we're kind of going to take you through the entire process, start to finish, and it's really going to be surprisingly quick to do that.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to do is just dive in here. And again, you guys can watch the replay and this can be repurposed for infinite use cases. So I made myself a little cheat sheet here, but what we're going to effectively be doing is kind of making a landing page similar to this. 10 things to know before hiring an interior designer. This is obviously a consumer facing lead magnet. If you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's something that you're going to give your visitors in exchange for their email address. So this is going to be some tips for hiring an interior designer. And the AI is going to kind of fully build out a page like this that shows the benefits of what they're going to get. We can have a little video here, but basically really encouraging them to fill out this form so we could capture their email address. So the first thing to do is actually we totally reverse engineer this thing. So in my mind, I have a topic of 10 things to ask when hiring an interior designer and how to save money. So maybe you have the inkling of an idea for some kind of lead magnet that would be compelling for your visitors. But if you're unsure, you can always use the BD help bot here. And let's actually do that together. Let me just start a new chat. Great. So I'm just going to say I have an interior designer directory and I want a consumer facing lead magnet, something like 10 things to ask. What would be the best title, and use the number 10 in it. So let's get some ideas for the lead magnet title and what the topic is going to be. Then we're going to get into the AI page builder stuff together. Okay, so let's just hit yes. It's asking a clarifying question. And I'm actually okay with that title, actually. It seems pretty good. But let's see what it comes up with. Okay, it's giving us some pushback. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with the title. But the point is, you could use this, just say, give me some ideas. You could use this to brainstorm your idea right here without having to leave the BD admin area. So what we're going to do first is create the email here. 10 money saving questions every homeowner must ask before hiring an interior designer. Let's go with that. And I'll just save this in the little header here because I'm going to use that a few times. So we can close this now. And what we'll do first is we're going to create the newsletter first that actually delivers those 10 tips to the user. So we're going to go to create newsletter. And what I'll do is I'll just put that as the title of the nickname, and we'll do AI generate, and we'll hit continue. Now here in the prompt, we can put whatever we want in the prompt, calls to action, text to include, whatever we want. In this case, we have some suggested prompts that actually work perfect for this scenario. And this is going to be the lead magnet delivery. So after they give us their email address, we're just going to give them the goods through this email. So this pre-made prompt says this is a lead magnet delivery email, include 10 numbered actionable tips about, and I'm just going to paste this in here. 10 money saving questions, etc., etc. It says make it scannable with square images and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit continue. And we're creating the email now. I'm going to clone this. I'm going to duplicate this page. And now that we're creating the email newsletter, which we'll check in just a moment, what we want to do is create a form on our site that we're going to put on the actual landing page, the form that's going to collect the email addresses. So we'll just go to Toolbox and Form Manager. This is probably it's pretty easy to do this. So you just go to New Form, and I'll shorten it. I'll just do 10 money saving questions, and we'll hit Save and Continue. And perfect. So we got a form. And actually in this form, I do want to collect the name and email and phone. I don't need the enter message field. So we can actually we could do two things. We can delete that field, or we can just hide it from the input view. Maybe we want to add it back later. So we just open the little cog here, and on display, we do input view no. And I'll go ahead and save the changes. Perfect. So, and again, maybe you just want to really make it frictionless and just have an email field. You can totally do that as well. Let's check out our newsletter for a second, since now we have our form ready. Perfect. So it's created this newsletter for us, or this email template for us. It's created a nice subject line. Here are the 10 tips. What's included in your fee? How do you help stay on budget? So this is the deliverable. And of course, you can elaborate on this. We can go back and say, be more elaborative if we want. And actually, let's do that together. Let's go back, and I have some of that here. I said include hyper-specific examples so the user feels they got ample information. So I'm just going to put that at the end here, and we'll redo the email. Regenerate email is what I'm doing. So it's going to regenerate a new email. And that's something you can do. The AI is going to spin something up, and maybe it left something out, or you forgot to tell it to include something that's important or pertinent to the email. You can hit the back button and then have it regenerate the newsletter. What we're working on in a phase 2 is after you're happy with a newsletter, if you want to continue editing it without doing a full remake of it, that's going to be called remixing. And we're going to have a feature which allows you to remix your email newsletters and your web pages. So it's added a little bit more substance to each of them. We see now there's like 3 lines or so. Before it was a little lighter. And of course, we can add more to this. But let's just save the changes here. And we now have an email template saved, and it's called this one. So what we'll do is, now that we have the form, we'll do edit form settings back in our form. And when we're here, we go to email notifications, email user after submission, and we're going to choose the email we just selected. So after users fill out this form, they're going to get this email that we just created. So if a user fills out this form, they are going to get this email here. So that part is done for us. Perfect. And for the landing page, we're going to use the quick create, and we're going to use the web page create web page tool. Let me just make sure I have something set up here. For the form, you're going to copy the short code, and let me just see I have something here. Yep, there it is. We're going to share this with you guys, and we're just going to tell it in the the create web page form to use this form that we just created, the 10 money saving questions for capture form. So let's go to create web page. And after this, by the way, we'll show you guys how to add SEO content to those search results pages. So let's actually just give this a nickname here, the 10 money landing pages. And we'll hit AI generate and continue. Now, here we have some choices to make. Again, for the web page, we have some suggested prompts here. And for this one, we're going to do a free download offer one because it's an offer. There's nothing to download in this case. It's going to be for the email exchange. But again, you can put whatever you want when you're creating web pages. And this isn't just for creating offer pages. You can make a Teams page. You can create your mission and about page. Just tell it everything that it should know. You can even create resource pages and just tell it to include links to other pages, and it'll make sure to embed those links in its output. So it's really powerful here on the types of things you can do. What we'll do in this case is we'll just do free download offer, and we're creating a landing page offering a free, we'll call it guide for homeowners. And we'll excuse my spelling as always. About, and I'm just going to paste that topic in here, that long one, 10 money saving questions, et cetera, and we're saying include what's inside, key benefits, preview, who it's for, et cetera. I'm going to add this part here about the form. I'm going to say include this form shortcode at the top of the page with images and text on the left. I'll fix that there. So I'll just do some line breaks here. We can even extend this lower. So we're actually telling it which form from our database or site we want it to include. And for BD forms in the text editor, you just need to put the short code. And then you have some additional settings here. The page length, we'll do long. The purpose, we'll say promotional. The tone, professional. We'll do friendly. And if we wanted to, like I said, a resource page, we can actually include other internal links that we'd want to include on this page. And that's what's really powerful for the SEO part of this is you can create a nice neural network of pages you want, like a SEO page you're creating to link to internally. So let's just hit continue. Now for these pages, it usually takes about 15 to 30 seconds to create. And while this is cooking up, this is one we did earlier, just before the webinar to make sure we had everything set up for you guys correctly. So this is the type of landing page it's going to create for us. And after this is ready, the landing page is ready, we're going to make a couple small tweaks because we're the website owner and we have the power to do all those things. But let's just let this cook up here. And again, if you have questions about this stuff, put them in the comments. We're going to take as many questions as we can. And we did this early, so we have plenty of time for the Q&A. So yeah, we'll just give this a few more seconds and hopefully it doesn't get hung up on anything and we have a smooth flow here. And also one of my favorite things is when it creates these web pages, whether it's one of these visual pages here, and here we see that it added that short code there with some text and the images here. We might want to move some of this stuff around. We can scroll down. It's added some benefits here. There's a kind of like a quote here. There's a video if we want to include it or remove it or replace it with an image, and some other things. Who should download this guide? First-time homeowners, busy professionals, et cetera, et cetera. We'll just accept everything that it's created. Obviously, it's given us a ton of content here. So let's save and continue. Okay, perfect. So now the landing page is created. Let's take a look at it together. Okay, perfect. So there are some things here that I'm going to want to edit. So one, it's created a beautiful hero section, but we're going to improve that even further. It says free guide, the title of it. And if we scroll down, we can see the form is here and the image is here. And actually, I'm going to want to move some things around myself. But the web page is created. 95% of the work is already done for us. And of course, all these images and text and links, we can add, remove, or edit further if we want to. So let's do some edits, actually, because there are some things that I want to change here. Let's go to continue editing here.
And one thing I would add is even if you are totally happy with the text that the AI wizard generates, the images could probably be improved. Some of them might be good enough, but high quality, relevant images will really make a huge addition to the page. It'll really make it feel a lot more professional. So if you have the time and some of the images can't afford to be replaced, you should definitely do that. I would recommend doing that. Just using the built-in stock photos that will show.
Yeah, and we'll do that together. And that's a great point. Let's actually start with the hero section. So, with the page builder right now, it's just going to use a default image as the hero image, but we have control and we can easily swap that out real quick. Let's just go to replace image, go to stock images, and we'll search for happy interior designer, something I searched for before, and we'll hit search photos. And again, if you guys aren't familiar with this, you guys have access to millions of free stock photos here. So this is amazing. We'll just give it a second to load. It looks like my connection is going a little slower here, and that's what happens on the webinars. But it is pulling these images here. Okay, great. Let's choose one that comes up. Here's a good one right here. Happy holding a Pantone booklet. Let's download that. Okay, perfect. That image is added. And we'll do two things actually. We'll use it as the hero image. And if we go to SEO settings here, this is a little higher level, but you guys will like this. You can actually choose what image is shared for social media on this page. So we'll actually choose that exact same image. So when this gets shared on Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever, it'll use this image that we've selected here. Another thing I noticed is we have this nice big title here, but it's doing like a double title. So I'm just going to remove this extra title that it added. I'm just going to remove this row here. And another thing is I don't really like how the form is here with text under it. I'm just going to put the form on the right-hand side and get rid of this image here. So I'll just delete that there, delete this image and paste the form here. And I think that should do it. I'll just make sure this is aligned left. And then another tip is, if you guys don't know this about the text editor in BD, you can see here that's doing kind of like the columns here with left and right. You can actually put something in a content box, and you'll see what that looks like now. Let's save the changes. So the way to do that is go to the cell styling and select content box design. And this cell will then look like one of your content boxes. So let's save that, and we'll do a before and after. I'll duplicate this. And what we did is we changed the hero section. So that actually looks great. Interior designer holding a Pantone booklet back there. We can see this is the content box design here. It puts this little framing on it and it matches the rest of your site. And then we see the text here on the left. What I'll do is I'll just kind of even this out a bit more. And one more thing, just for my own OCD, I'm going to add an image right here. I just feel like an image should go there. So we'll just, again, use the stock photos, and we'll just do home design as the what we're searching. And we'll see what comes up here. This is definitely going a little slower probably because of all the video, the sharing, but let's just do this picture here. And that should go right in there. And did it, or did it go to the bottom? Nope. Yeah, it went to the bottom when it shouldn't. That's okay. Let's just move it up here. Okay, right back up. Oops, it didn't cut it. All right, let's just leave it as it is. I'm getting a little too involved, getting too excited there, but let's save the changes. And I think we should have a better balanced page here. Now, again, what we did is we created the newsletter, we created the form, and we created the landing page. So now when we fill out this form, let me go to a private window here and go to this page like a regular user would be. We can come here and let's actually fill this out together. Events at brilliantdirectories.com. And let's actually receive this email together. And let's see what was delivered. So it says your message has been sent. Great. And I do have an inbox here. This is a previous one that I got. Let's wait for this one to come in. All right. This one isn't it, but this is the previous one that I was testing before, where we got the deliverable here. Let's see if we can get the email. I'm doing a forwarding to this Gmail here for this webinar.
I think that email actually was it. I think it just got added to the thread with the
Ah,
same
okay.
subject line.
Got it. Oh, yeah, 0 minutes ago. You're absolutely right. So, okay, perfect. So it says unlock smarter design. Here we go. So that's perfect. And yeah, here's the email. So they got what they wanted. I think this was I selected in the form the previous one from our test. But point being is you filled out the form and the person instantly got the benefit, right? So now we have their email address. We've given them some good deliverables. They're warm and fuzzy. And even at the bottom of the email, we can, give them more calls to action. Let us, if you're a directory of professionals, you can link to your get matched page, like let us match you with a designer now and have them put their scope of their project in. And that's a lead you can sell with your lead matching website to the professionals in your network. So in case you didn't know it, Brilliant Directory started as a lead distribution network where the professionals were in the database. We would use Google pay-per-click to get consumers who were looking for interior designers and other types of professionals. And those leads that we captured were sold to the designers as leads, at nominal pricing that made sense for the market. And that is the number one feature that I think is overlooked in BD, but it was the first reason BD was put together as a directory software, was for that lead distribution network for matching the consumers with the professionals. Let me take this 2 steps further because I was having fun with this. And yes, we have the landing page now, this one here. So we can actually link this in our main menu, in our footer. But I thought it would be fun to ask Gemini to kind of make like a banner ad for this. So I did one earlier, but let's do this one. Do another one for this lead magnet. And I'm going to say use photo realistic of happy people in it. Excuse the spelling. That makes sense for the banner ad. So let's actually get a banner ad from Gemini real quick, and let's actually put it in the sidebar of our search results page and link it to this landing page that we just created. So not only did we create the asset, and again, it's like going to be hit or miss. You can probably do this better in Canva or something else, but let's just download this image here. Okay, perfect. That's a huge size, 1 MB. We're going to want to shrink that down, but just for the sake of the webinar, I'm not going to go through all those steps. So what we can do is we can go to the design settings now. And again, if we're going quick, you guys will have access to the replay. We just want to make sure we cover as much as possible here for you. So when you're in the design settings, you can go to banner ads and you can turn them on. And for the sidebar, we will upload the image we just downloaded from Gemini. So we'll upload this image. Perfect. And we have a link to our page, which is here. So let's go back and select this image. And what we're going to do is use image banner ad. There's 3 options with the banner ad options: disable it, the placement, or use custom embed code, which is where you would put your AdSense code or Ad Butler. But we're going to use an actual image, and we're going to say this is the link. So if anyone clicks on this image, they will go to this link, and we'll just save the changes. And now we have a banner ad on our site. If we go to member directory, perfect. And here's the ad right here. I think this could look a little bit better. The text is small, but if you click on this, it takes you to the page. So we've now come full circle with actually placing a banner ad on the sidebar of the page. And again, this is to help. One, it helps the site look more professional, in my opinion. 2, we could probably ask Gemini to change the, instead of download now, there's nothing to download. It could just say get it now. But again, these are details that you can work with the AI to work out. We brought them to the landing page. Here's the form. There's all these details here. And effectively, we're done. And as David mentioned for the use cases, let me go back here. I think you were mentioning this somewhere else here. Yeah, the use cases are infinite. They could be for the consumer side. They could be for the professionals. 10 ways lawyers can get more leads from online visibility. And it's a packet for them to bolster their online visibility. And maybe number 3 is joining your directory. And you've captured their email address. Let's take it one step further and put a bow on this real nice. Is now that we've collected the email address and we've delivered them the asset, the lead magnet asset, what we can do is we can actually see which people are filling out these forms in our forms inbox. So not only did you create the form, but here we can see Events at Brilliant Directories has been filling out this form on these landing pages. And you can also filter by form. So here's the form name, visitor lead email, and what have you. So let's see. Yep, there we go. Let's just search for this in the keyword. Perfect. So the origin page, right, where it was filled out was here. Or the form, I think, let's see here what we called the form. Well, I think it was just the visitor lead magnet. So we'll just do that. Here it is. So now we can see, let me get rid of this. Perfect. So we can see here that this, I see where I messed up, David. When I did the prompt, I used the form shortcode that I saved in the notepad, not from the form that we created on the fly. But the same context works, the same thing works. So we can see here that 10 people have filled out this form. Now, what we can do is actually create a smart list of people who filled out this form. So 10 questions to ask designers. And now, and this is a dynamic form. So as more people fill this out, that smart list will continue to populate with more people who fill out this form. And we can see the smart list here. We could just do newest first here. 10 questions to ask interior designers. 10 people have filled out this form, and now we can remarket to these people at a later time period. We already know who they are. We've segmented them as people who filled out that form. We could even segment like which page was filled out. So if we have the same form on different pages, we can create different segments. We just have to do the filtering on the form's inbox page, and whatever filters you set, whether it's submissions for members or non-members, the date that the submission happened, any keywords or a piece of the origin page, you can create those smart lists based on these segments. So not only do you get the funnel, the lead magnet, the landing page, you also get the data, which is the most important thing, of all the valuable emails you've collected with your landing page and lead magnet combo. David, anything to add here? Because I know I say a lot and I say it real fast.
I love it. I think that all really took it full circle. I do think it's important just to reinforce. So the workflow itself is incredibly simple. It's just 3 steps: creating the form, creating the email, creating the landing page.
Right.
But there are those 2 little mini steps regarding the form that we don't want to forget. So after we create the email, we want to go back to the form and make sure that when that form is submitted, the submitter receives that new email template that we created. And then we also want to take the form's short code and give that to the AI wizard when we're building the landing page, so that we can make sure that the wizard includes that submission form on the landing page. So those 2 kind of mini steps we kind of went through pretty quick, but those are probably the 2 most important steps actually in this process.
Correct. And we did do that in this. So you guys just need to remember to do that. Let me just touch on that again real quickly. In the form manager, if you need the form shortcode, let's just edit this one real quick. Well, you can get it from the actions link there. There's a link there. But if you come to edit the form, click on copy shortcode. I'll just paste it in here. It does copy the shortcode there. And in the page generator, just tell it to use the form shortcode. You might want to explicitly say, place it in its own cell on the right with some text and images in the left, so you don't have to move it like I did. And then also in the edit form settings, you're going to want to, in the email notifications, select the email newsletter that you created with the AI email newsletter generator. And that will ensure that when people fill out that form, that this email is sent to them directly. So you don't have to fuss with PDFs. I think this is incredibly valuable for that, instead of having PDF as attachments or we're messing with the files, because it makes everything instant. Bonus step, if you wanted to. Right now, when they filled out the form, it just showed a thank you message. If you wanted to take it a step further, under the submission settings for the form, when the people fill out the form, you can actually redirect them to another page. So if you create a thank you page, which carries the torch from when they filled out the form, and on the next page, it tells them to check their email. It thanks them for filling it out. And then also other ways to continue keeping in touch with your company. like joining your Facebook group or your socials. Or, like I said, if you're a lead matching site, encouraging them to just go ahead and get matched with a designer and they can continue filling out the get matched form. And again, that's going to be leads that you can resell to members, the professional members in your directory. So, really easy point and click settings. And the final bow that we'll put on this one is just asking the BD help bot to create a social media post for the new landing page that we created. Let's do that together. Create a Facebook post with lots of emojis for this guide, and say include the link to the web page. And we'll just take this link. I still have it here. Yep. And we'll come back here. And I think it's going to ask me a confirmation question. I'll just hit yes. And this is going to create the social post for us as well. So we can just wait for this and say yes. And now we've added the banner to the sidebar. We're going to promote it on socials if we want to. And that is really good to do. So it's asking the more qualifying questions. One, we want to promotional posts to attract homeowners ready to hire designers. Yes. Or an educational post. So he's asking a lot of questions, wants to be super helpful. So here's our post here. And let's see. Yep. It even did with hashtags and all this good stuff. We'll just come back to Facebook and we'll just, for example, just post, not going to post this to the group, but here, this is it here. And we have a social post. You can pare it down if you need to. You can modify it. But in just a few seconds, we can actually start promoting this as well. And actually, side note, someone asked in the Facebook group, I have my directory website. Should I only create a Facebook group or like a Facebook company page as well? And my answer for that was you should do both, because the Facebook group is for actual interaction with participants of your directory, where people can ask questions and post comments and they can talk to each other. But if you go to your Facebook page, you can do posts just like I was suggesting, and you can actually boost them, and you can actually, spend $5 or $10 and actually boost them to your audience or whoever else, remarketing audiences and other tools. So that's really the difference of the company page and the group. The company page, you can do posts and use it as a recruiting tool for outreach and brand visibility. And of course, boosting the post so you can reach those extended audiences who aren't already part of your Facebook group, which is almost like a private home for your community, where you can have those personal interactions where people ask questions and start discussions.